Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. It is a 49er Thursday. 49ers versus Rams on Amazon Prime tonight. We are driving home after a day of work. It is currently drizzling in Folsom here. We had a little bit of rain today. That was pretty damn cool, man, if you know what I'm talking about. But we are going to be heading home and making chili for the first time because of the rain today. I was like, it is chili season going down. Now, my normal pack that I make from the store, I use Carol Shelby's chili mix. It's pretty much like my base that I use for all my meat, and I toss a whole bunch of extras in there to really stretch it out before making the cornbread to go on the side. Unavailable at my store. Drove over to the local Walmart and it was gone. So I don't know if they're just not making that, not carrying it anymore, or what is going on. So we're gonna have to stretch it tonight. I used another mix. I ended up buying Kinder's chili because of the fact that I kind of like their dry rubs. I like their marinades. I've never had Kinder's chili before. I know that it's like a real restaurant that you can go to, but we'll see how it works out. But this week I was not able to do a live stream. My buddy Jeremy is out of town this week, and Tuesday didn't work out for me because I went to the a concert here in Sacramento. Ace of Spades, Cameron something or another, some dude who was on American Idol back in the day. My girlfriend really likes him, so we went and saw him. I'll tell you the truth, I thought it was an awesome show. Very captivating guy. I liked the way that he held the audience in the palm of his hand and like showed you that he was giving you all that he had. But I don't even know. I guess that was country music, but it's just not my kind of country music, so we'll see what it is. But last week when I did a live stream, we talked about the upcoming Crown Jewel pay-per-view, but we weren't able to talk about the women's championship match that's going to be going down because of the fact that we had the Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax and Jade Cargill match that went down last week on SmackDown. We weren't able to know who was actually in the match because the champion was putting the title on the line. We were supposed to get the match at WrestlePalooza, but instead we got it on SmackDown. You know, some people thought that Tiffany had a concussion. It's funny, they could have a men's like storyline with the Cody versus Drew match, where like the main storyline of the match was that there was a concussion and they didn't know if he'd be able to, you know, have his all in the match. And then basically also at WrestlePalooza, they say that, you know, Jey Uso had a concussion. But he just comes out and wrestles on Monday. So I have a hard time telling when they're, you know, telling us there's a real concussion or a bad concussion, because the whole concussion lawsuit there was back in the day. Chris Nowinski, Demolition, a whole bunch of other guys from back in the day signed up on the petition, you know, trying to get some money from WWE for their time of service, I guess you could say. But, you know, concussions was like off limits. Not allowed to talk about it, not allowed to show anything about it. You know, don't, you know, draw any attention to it. Now we're just using them for storylines. It is what it is. But I think everybody has jumped in and said what they need to say about the match that went down on SmackDown. Quite possibly one of the weirdest finishes of all time. People talking about how Nia Jax picked up Jade Cargill and then dropped her right onto the ring steps. And then right after that, her running right into the camera with her bloody face, yelling how, you know, she is in charge and this is all her and blah, blah, blah. And then Jade not being ready for her spot when she was supposed to stop the referee from counting, and the referee acted like Jade was there, acting like somebody had pulled her leg to break up the pin, and everybody looked bad in that situation. And they, to me, honestly, like, making a little joke about it, I guess you can say, like, it was bad enough that they should start taping SmackDown again and not giving it to us live. But we move on from there, and Tiffany Stratton walks out the champion. So now we have Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vaquer for the champion of all champions at Crown Jewel. Winner is going to be given a championship that will live in Saudi Arabia at the WWE World exhibit that they have there. They'll be given a ring. Stephanie Vaquer, the new champion over on the WWE Monday Night Raw brand. She's pretty freaking new. She made her debut before Money in the Bank on the main Raw brand. When she qualified to go into the Money in the Bank, she was my pick to actually be the winner of that match. I think she's up for big things in WWE, and I thought there would be a championship change in that Tiffany Stratton match on SmackDown, and I picked Nia Jax to get the win just because I thought they wanted to give Stephanie Vaquer, I apologize, I backed myself into a corner right there, but I thought if she beat Nia Jax, she would be getting a really big win against a competitor that you look at and you're like, man, how did she beat her? And, they would be right off to the races of making her look like a big deal in WWE right out of the gate. Now, Tiffany Stratton, I think ever since, she won the championship, when she cashed in her Money in the Bank against Nia Jax, people thought that, she would never be able to beat Nia in a fight, and then she gets put at WrestleMania against Charlotte, and people think that, she just became champion to hand Charlotte back the belt that WWE has pretty much graced on Charlotte ever since she's came up from the main roster. She's a Flair, so they're trying to just portray her as Ric Flair's daughter, and Rick always had the belt. He's a 16-time champion. There's no way in the world that Charlotte's not going to beat Rick's record. And what do you know? Charlotte was there to make Tiffany look like $1 million and sort of rotate Charlotte into the back half of her career, where she is now the tag team champion with Alexa Bliss. And I don't think that we're done seeing Charlotte, be a champion, for WWE, whether if it's for one brand or the other. But definitely it's going to be few and far in between her being there. But it is good to see her on the main roster being used in a spot that still makes her look like she's pretty damn good and she belongs to be there. But, when it comes to this match at Crown Jewel, my pick, I think, is honestly Stephanie Vaquer. I just think that she is the flavor of the week. I understand that she's a rookie, and that if Tiffany was to beat her, they would say that it's because of the fact that, she is the veteran. She's been there. She's been in that situation before. But this, honestly, is a really, really big match. I honestly think that they're trying to make Crown Jewel actually become a really big pay-per-view, even though this isn't being held over in Saudi Arabia like it normally is. We're getting Stephanie Vaquer, going up there against Tiffany Stratton. At the same time, we're getting, Cody versus Seth in a huge match, and then AJ versus John Cena in a match that, kind of feels like they don't even want to hype or talk about, because I don't know where it's going or what it lives up to be. And maybe it's just an exhibition match that doesn't mean anything over the course of time, and we're just supposed to sit there and watch it and enjoy it and have fun, and we're all trying to make, Cena into, getting a championship shot. Maybe he becomes the champion and he can't leave come December when he has that Saturday night's main event match. They're just trying to find some magical key that locks him into staying in WWE and never being able to leave like he wants to. So, hey, we'll see. Crown Jewel looks like a pretty damn good show, though. Peace out. See you guys down the road.